So for many agents out there, including myself, the Resident Evil Apparel event is something we completed years ago. However, with that being said, there are also a lot of people who missed it for different reasons. Therefore, today, my friends, I'm going to take a few minutes, go over some of the details of the event, and also share a few of my favorite ways to farm for XP. What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as most of you know by now, the Division 2 adjusted an XP farming method when it comes to resource convoys a few weeks back. It has not been reverted as yet, and because the Apparel event is beginning today, I've already started to receive messages from new and returning players asking for an efficient way to farm for XP, especially for those of you that are just returning to the game, so I wanted to do that really quick. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and you know about the giveaways, but I will save that info until the end. Now, the first thing I would like to cover, and this is for those of you that completed this event a while back, there is nothing new to attain from this event whatsoever. You can see from my Xbox character, when I log in, it says I have 21 out of 21 caches already collected. You can see I have 2 Apparel event keys just from logging in. However, when I click on it, I am met with a message saying you have already collected all event items and have excess keys. So these keys really do nothing whatsoever. Now, for those of you that missed this event initially, and to show you a quick example of what you're going to encounter when you log in, I'm going to switch to my PlayStation character because I never completed this event back in the day. You can see in the upper right corner, it says the Division 2 has granted you items. You can retrieve them from the mailbox in the stash. Now, for those of you that have completed this, you may see that message as well, but again, to be clear, there is nothing new. You can disregard that message. But again, for everyone else, you want to then do one of two things. First of all, you can check your stash to see if those new items are in there. Now, for me, nothing was there, but upon checking my actual apparel in my inventory, I was met with a Leon Kennedy outfit, and that is something you get just for logging into the game. So no matter what, you're given this outfit right out of the gate. If you do not get it, please let me know and I will try to walk you through picking the thing up. Next, my friends, I want to talk about earning apparel keys in this event, and this is an important detail for those of you that are just jumping back in and haven't played for a while. So here's how it works. For every 4 shade levels you gain when you're playing, you should receive 1 Resident Evil apparel cache key every time that happens. Now, there are certain instances in the game where you get a notification on screen that says, hey, guess what? You earned an apparel cache key, but when you look at the keys themselves, you notice that you have not received any key whatsoever. Now, unfortunately, this is a common occurrence for a lot of players out there, including myself. I think I've run into it pretty much every time an event has taken place. However, all you need to do is log out of the game, log back in. That should fix the problem. For me, it has worked every single time. If you're having an issue and that does not fix it, please let me know and I will try to give you another workaround. One thing I want to mention really quick, and this is for those of you who have never completed this event before, you need to make sure you check your daily projects because as you can see, when you complete them, you are going to receive new apparel items as well. And for those of you like myself who have already done this, when you go to your project tab, you can see that there's also a daily project for the Stars event. However, the 2 apparel event items are missing because we have already collected them. But again, for those of you that have not as yet, do not miss out on these projects because you want to make sure you pick that stuff up. With all that being said, my friends, let's now get into farming XP. And while I know there are people out there who are bummed out about the resource convoy, the bottom line is that there are so many different ways you can efficiently farm for XP in the game. And one thing I've talked about in multiple apparel events in the past is farming territory controls for a few main reasons. First of all, they are in a stationary location. That way you know exactly how the NPCs are going to spawn. And secondly, you can clear these things in usually less than a minute. And to give you a baseline of the type of XP you can earn, I'm going to do this on challenging with 3 directives, and as most of you know, the higher the difficulty and more directives equals more XP, but even for those of you, let's say you're on challenging, you can do a few directives, you can still really stack that XP fast. Now, one of the other reasons I really like these areas is because they are located all over the map, so you can easily find one that's close to a fast travel area, which makes farming even more efficient. Now, you're going to see in this gameplay, I'm going to be able to clear this spot in less than 30 seconds once I get here, which brings me to a recommendation recommendation I want to pass along, and that is learn the timing of different control points across the map, because that way, if some of them do not respawn the way you want, you do have other options. Now I want to show you a quick example of what I'm referring to. You can see once I pick up the key, I just go over to the cache, open it up. Once that is open, I'm then going to get about 200,000 XP for my time. Now at this point, I'm going to open up my map, reset the control points, and ideally when I'm loaded back into the game, that same territory control will be at the exact same location. And the reason I bring this up is because there are times when certain territory controls are not located on the map at all, or they do not respawn over and over, and that's the entire point of this farming method. So you do have an option. First of all, if you get back to the local safe house and you do not see the territory control back on the map, you obviously have the option of resetting your control points one more time. And again, here's an example of it. So when I get back to the safe house, I notice the control point and icon is not there. I'll reset it one more time, and if it doesn't happen this time, I move on to the next, because the most important thing is really managing your time well. And keep in mind, the reason why I say that is because you do not want to waste your time resetting your control points if that territory control does not respawn consistently. So again, if that's the case, move on to another. And as I start to wrap this up, once I'm done talking, I will show you footage of other ones that I like to hit up in the game that are very close to fast travel points, and they're pretty damn consistent, which is really good as well. Now obviously, and most of you know this, but this is one of so many different ways you can farm for XP, and one thing you want to keep a lookout for on the map is anything elite, an elite resource convoy, a warhound convoy, elite patrols as well. And needless to say, there are missions, there are control points. Just have fun playing the game. And again, it does suck that the resource convoy XP was cut in half. Hopefully we see that reverted soon, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know. With all that being said, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. And as I said before, we are currently having a giveaway for a PlayStation 5. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced May 4th of this year. On that note, I'm going to show you 3 other territory controls I like to hit up on a regular basis. These happen to be ones that do seem to respawn pretty frequently. I hope it helps you out, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
I got rounds on the agent.
Access key detected. Detecting additional hostile contact. Access key detected.
Heavy contact.